So, just a quick overview of who we are. So, we were incorporated as a Scottish charitable organisation in 2021, and since then we've been growing our membership from sort of individuals, communities, businesses all across the Highlands, and we've actually had an increase of 61 members since last year's AGM, which is fantastic, and we are looking to continue to grow. So we're led by our charter and our vision for making a more resilient, holistic, regenerative food system within Highland. Really focusing on how food connects us all and the benefits to our health, our climate, and to our planet as well, and to our communities. So you can read our full charter on the website. You can scan the QR code if you're tech savvy, not like myself. Just have a look on the website. So these are our amazing trustees. So we've got 4 that are continuing to stand or still standing, like Elton John. And so we've got Martin, Sarah, Helen, and myself that will be standing for re-election. I'd like to introduce you to our new trustees as well. We've got Adam, Lucinda, and Fred. And unfortunately, we do have a couple of trustees standing down. So unfortunately, Col, Dennis, and Hannah are stepping down from their trustee positions. So I just want to give a massive shout out to the 3 of them for everything they've contributed to the partnership over the last couple of years. It's been absolutely phenomenal. So thank you. And I will be doing the formal elections with Martin in a bit. Then we've got our wonderful staff members. So we've got Brenna, Rachel, Ellie, Fuggo, and Tony. So they're a real driving force behind the partnership and our engagement with all our members, from the podcast to our waste partnership, all our communications and all our project work as well. So a fantastic team we've got behind the partnership. And I thought it was good. We showed this last year, and I wanted to just show sort of the changes that have been going on as well with our Highland Good Food Map. So this was created in partnership with Highland Third Sector Interface. And we've had a few more local producers sign up to be part of the map. We've got our community food growing. So if you have an opportunity, please have a look at the map. If you think there's anything missing, then get in touch with the team and we can add them onto the map. So what have we been up to? We have been busy with our, first thing I would like to touch on is our podcast. So Fuggo has been doing a fantastic job of developing our podcast and our outreach. Through that, some really interesting topics as well being discussed. So if you haven't already signed up or subscribed to our podcast, please do. We try and keep it really fresh with what is happening and very much member-led as well in terms of what you would like to hear from us. Then we've had our Get Your Community Growing workshops. So this has been Tony that's been leading on this. And we are coming to the end of them, but it's been really successful across Highland, right through to Ullapool. We've got ones in Inverness, all across Highland, and they've been really, really great. So shout out to Tony for all her hard work. And we've got the brilliant Highland Community Waste Partnership, which is in its 3rd and final year, which is very scary. And that is our project officer for that is Brenna, who's joining me today in Skye. And there's just been a huge amount of work that has gone into this partnership. The Highland Good Food Partnership, it has a role of really connecting with businesses and hospitality to reduce their food waste in their sort of buildings and their single-use plastic. So Brenna's been doing a great job of connecting with some of the businesses across Highland and also some of those community composting projects as well. And then a big thing that we've been involved in is our policy and consultation engagement. So we've had the likes of very local consultations, right through to regional and then national. So the Crofton consultation was the latest one that we submitted a response to. But if you'd like to find out any more, or if you want to hear of upcoming consultations that we might be putting in, then please subscribe to our newsletter, and we have a section in there that details all of that. We're also a part of a regional food group. So we are one of, I think it's 10 regional food groups across Scotland. So this is all about promoting the relationship between our local producers and hospitality businesses and tourism sector. So really building that link between our local producers. And I really have to shout out the Black Isle Feast that happened a couple of weeks ago, actually. And that was a weekend-long event run by coordinated by the partnership, and really brought the local businesses together with the local community and producers, and they put on a special Black Isle menu, and it was a great success. So well done to everyone that was involved, and thanks to all the businesses as well that got involved in that. Now, a big thing that Ellie, one of our project officers, has been involved in is the integrated food strategy. So as you might know, Scottish Government has made a commitment to build a Good Food National Plan. And as part of that, it will encompass everything that's going on nationally, but then there is the need to localise that as well. And what the Highland Good Food Partnership has been doing is coordinating those efforts and bringing some of the key players together, so the likes of NHS Highland and Highland Council, to build that foundation so that when there is that ask from Scottish Government for these local plans, we're ready and we've built those connections and we can really take it and run with it. So going forward into the next year, our priorities, as they have been the same for a couple of years now, are really three-tiered. So we've got supporting our producers, building that good food nation and movement, so making people really excited about food and celebrating the amazing food that is on offer in Highland. And then also, as I was just talking about, is lead on that sort of regional food plan and that local plan for moving to a more sustainable local food system in Highland. And looking ahead, we've got some really exciting things coming up in the partnership. Just a couple of things to pull out. So we are going to be hosting and coordinating a community learning exchange for regenerative agriculture in Highland. So bringing together key people and really trying to sort of build that space and look at sort of what that could look like within Highland. There's a lot that we need to do around communication as well, and that's where I'd love to get your ideas in terms of what you'd like to hear from on our podcasts, in our newsletters, and we will be doing a bit of a membership audit just to find out if people are still engaged. If they're not, why not? And if they are, what are they enjoying hearing about? And just to touch on as well, the Sourcing Scotland. So we've just been awarded funding to host a 2-day Meet the Producer event, which will be a great opportunity, again, to connect local producers with hospitality in and around the Inverness area. So just to finish off by saying thank you so much. We've had a busy year and it's definitely not going to slow down anytime soon, but our members are such a key part of what we do, and we just want to thank everything, and we'd love to stay in touch. So if you aren't a member, please sign up. It would be fantastic to have you along for the journey. If you'd like to keep in touch, then you can email us or follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Or if you want to find out more about the partnership, then you can visit our website. But I will now pass to Martin, who will be going over some of the finances from the partnership for the past year, and then also the formal election of the trustees. So I'll stop sharing my screen and pass to Martin.
Thanks, Katie, for that. Hopefully people can hear me. Yes, good, excellent. I'll try to split my attention between the people here in person and the screen. So I'll try and do that without looking too awkward, which may be a bit of a challenge. The accounts for the year have been put up onto the website, and hopefully people have had a chance to have a quick look at them. So I'm not proposing to go through the accounts sort of blow by blow. But what I will do is maybe just share what I think, anyway, is the key page of the accounts, which is this one, which shows the income and expenditure account for the year. And the thing which I think is not always particularly well understood about charity accounts is that we have some of our funds which is money that's come in which is restricted to particular purposes, so there's nothing we can do with it. We can't use it for our core overheads and things. And there's other money which we raise which is unrestricted, which we can do what we like with. So this is the income and expenditure account, which shows one column for the unrestricted funds, one column for the aggregation of the restricted funds, and then a total figure. And if you look at the aggregation of those, you'll see that we had a net deficit for the year of £1,000, which doesn't sound like a good thing, but that actually represents £7,500 of surplus from our unrestricted activities. So that's £7,500 that we've got, which we can do what we like with. And the £8,700 of deficit on restricted funds is essentially money that we'd had previously, which we had to spend on certain purposes, and this is us spending that money. I suppose what I'm saying is that £1,100 deficit isn't a bad thing. It's a sort of reversing of money that came in advance in the previous period. So that's the accounts in a nutshell. Really, we are solvent. We'll for the coming year we'll see a further deficit on restricted funds because we have the Highland Community Waste Partnership project, which was funded in advance, and as that winds down, we'll have to spend that money. So that will be a further deficit this year. But we're expecting on the restricted funds to be broadly, on the unrestricted funds, sorry, to be broadly breaking even this year. So that's about as much as I really want to say on the finances. And we can pick up any questions if anyone's got them at the end of the formal business. And also, if anyone suddenly thinks of anything that they'd like to have asked previously, then do get in touch. So now if we can move on to the election of trustees. The Constitution says that all of our trustees stand down at each AGM. So I suppose at the moment that means we're completely rudderless because we have no trustees. But all are eligible to stand for re-election. The situation this year is that we have 4 continuing trustees. We have 3 who were recently co-opted, so haven't actually been elected at an AGM previously, and are standing for election now. And we have 3 who are standing down. And the details of the trustees and their background has been up on the website. So what I'm going to do, rather than introduce them again now, I'm going to propose that we elect all of the 7 who are standing for election en bloc. Does anybody object to that proposal? Everyone happy with that? And I'm going to propose to make it simpler because it's quite tricky to keep track of voting online. So I'm going to propose that we say that they are unanimously elected unless anyone chips in and says, no, they don't want to. Oh, thank you. I thought Sarah was about to say no. Okay, that's great. So I think we can take it that all 7 trustees are re-elected and we have trustees. Fantastic.